Alright, I guess we'll start the VOD review. Looking at some D.va here, looking at Frosty, and what we're going to be looking at is DM usage. I guess we're going to do it. So D.va DM, obviously probably the most important part of ability she has. Um, Something that can probably one of the highest skill ceilings of an ability in the game. Um, Now, how you should be using DM, there's two, maybe three big reasons. Mostly, I'll say kind of two. The big reason you should do is to eat enemy cooldowns. CDs, just cooldowns. Um, Now, obviously, think of DM as a cooldown, right? And obviously, if you don't just look at like time, the flash of DM it takes to eat, say, on the enemy team, a fire strike, um, a Junkrat concussion mine. Another big one would be the Kree flash. On and purple is like probably one of the biggest ones. Um, there's so many, like, obviously ultimates, grab, free, stuff like that, pulse bomb. Um, that's what we need to be looking at. Now, obviously, that's very tough to do, right? It's a lot of mechanical skill. So how can we make this a bit easier? It's actually anticipating what's going to happen. Um, a lot of people just like, I need to eat whatever, I need to eat nades, and then they'll just like try and like flick a nade, go in training range, try and like do some crazy eats. That's super hard. So what makes it a million times easier is actually before the fight happens, in between the fight, as the fight's happening, um, for the map, whatever, is actually think about it and anticipate. Okay, they have these abilities. I need to eat Fire Strike, I need to eat Flash, and if I can, I need to Concussion Mine. Obviously, some abilities are going to be more important than others, but your goal should be to eat as much as you can. Anyways, we'll see in the VOD review. Ryan, it's if you are anticipating a Ryan to throw a Fire Strike and you see that Fire Strike coming and you eat it, like my grandma can eat that 10 times out of 10. But we see here Frosty being a young buck, right? Still missing multiple fire strikes. And fire strike is, 7 or whatever percent. Let's say it hits one person, which is the lowest it can hit. I guess 0, but 7%. We do that once a fight, like, plus the damage that you're doing, you don't want to be doing that, right? And flashbang, another one. If you land a flash on a squishy and you right click it, that's a kill that you could have ate. Um, so that's a big one. And again, anticipating is really tough because you'll see like they have Ash, um, whatever, Anna, all like where all these people to eat, and it's super hard being the mid fight being able to anticipate it. So it's still hyper like really hard. It's not like an easy fix, but it's way easier than just trying to like go pure off reaction time, like eating nades just like 180 off the sound cue. You won't be able to do that. Now the next thing you want to eat would be, um, I will say like it's aggression and big things like movement. So what I mean by that is movement obviously could be backwards too, which is what we could do. Most times going to be aggression. So my team is taking space. My Ryan is actively pushing into their Ryan. I'm eating so then he can actually take the space, right? Or he's backing up because I don't want my Ryan using his shield to like push in all the time or whatever. I need to use my DM to actually get him into the fight. Similar to, I think the closest character that's to D.va is Lucio. Like, I am amping my Ryan in, and I'm amping him back. I'm not amping speed when he is chilling and like just chilling or like poking each other out. I don't need to do that. I'm amping, like I'm using my DM on my Ryan when he's pushing in. Same with my Doomfist, for example. When my Doomfist is engaging on the backline, me as D.va, I am going in and DMing him while he engages, not when he's sitting AFK, but when he's actively going in. Um, yeah, so that's what we'll look at. The big thing. Some other things, just making sure we're taking high ground when our team is like actually pushing in. That's a big thing we look at. Um, but yeah, that's kind of just yeah. And again, anticipating our aggression, right? We have a Ryan comp we want to push forward. It's a lot easier, right? It's pretty simple. We have a Winston comp. When Winston dives, I'm DMing him. When our ball slams, I can DM him, and vice versa. Obviously, if I'm playing more like maybe in a ball comp, and they're in a Winston like a ball mirror, we'll say, and I have a Zen. I'm anticipating when their ball dives, I'm DMing our Zen. So let's just let's go into it.
Time to raise my APM.
There I see.
APM
Now, doesn't really happen too often. Frosty, I think you did a good job, but a couple times in the VOD view, just making sure we're paying attention to this, right? I like the idea we're taking the D.va high ground, but we're doing it so early that we end up getting like a lot of damage. I think we might lose mech actually. Yeah, we lose mech with it. So now, like right now, maybe a second before, that's when you want to go high ground, because then they can't all look at the D.va and fighter. They have to look at like the Ryan swinging in. Kind of just died there. So we're going out. Again, we're going to high ground a little early, right? They can poke us out, we're not pushing in. When our Ryan's like walking out, that's when you go up high ground. So like right now, what is this DM value getting? It's literally doing nothing. You're eating the D.va, like, infinite ammunition. You're maybe eating like a Junkrat mine. So when you actually need it, when your Ryan's actually going to be here taking space, you're going to have no DM and he's probably going to die. Again, this is maybe a little miscommunication or whatever. DM's kind of weird. We don't really do too much. Right now is when we should be, or a second before when Ryan was swinging in. That's when we look at DM. But when he's actually doing it, we don't have it because we're kind of just using it whenever. And I'd rather your DM be a second. Like, if you're playing a comp, right, your main tank's not going to say when I'm swinging. That's not going to happen. But, okay, my Ryan's, like, going in. He's actively swinging. I see it. I'm not predicting him to swing, because he might make the wrong play, or whatever. He starts swinging, that's what I do. I'm not trying to, like, predict him. And again, like, we had to use DM there, right? Obviously, that DM, you would have died if you didn't use it. Then why are you forcing yourself to use it? Because now they're actually pushing, and first of all, you're 1 HP, right? But also, like, on topic, we have no DM. So we're kind of just inting mech a lot, like we're losing mech when we shouldn't be. Like D.va is not a character you should die first with, right? You see at Overwatch League level, D.vas get staggered so much because the D.va's constantly like living last or whatever.
Attacker ready for battle.
So if you're getting staggered, I guess you know you could take it as a good thing.
Ready.
Again, like I mean, okay, eventually. Like, flashing your DM there to eat the Fire Strike, that's good. Using your entire DM to eat some D.va spam, that's not very good. That's fine, because we're in a trap zone of a weird scenario to be in.
Nothing to worry.
We're going hotel, we're rotating, right? We're actively moving, so it's okay to DM. That's fine. Right here, complete waste, right? This Junkrat, he's gonna have his bullets back. Like, he's just need to reload it, and he's already, like, recharged, where when we rotate, we don't have DM for it. And it's a little thing, but again, we're masters. Can't be making these kind of mistakes. And again here, weird spot, right? Next time we're playing against a flanky Junkrat, take it this spot. Nothing really. I'm not mad at you for not. Okay, again. Kind of just wasted DM there. Right? We DM when our Ryan's walking in. When our Ryan's sitting here, we don't need a DM. And again, if we're like ready for a team, we're DMing right, that's an easy eat. It's just this, you know. And again, we kind of mistime it again. So I guess it's a little bigger of an issue. But we're going for this flank, which I'm fine with. I haven't, you know, limit tested, see if it works. But we're doing it so early that even if, like, all of them can turn at you, And your Ryan can't really do anything because it's so far away. Your like your front line. You also kind of blow DM. There, it's fine. Right, we're like running away from the window. Right? Again, like my grandma can eat that fire strike if she was like ready for predicting it. You obviously weren't. It was in your head, and it's tough because you're in a mid fight. You're thinking of all those things.
Get through this.
And again, it goes after. But just wasted him.
Forward barrier. Routing power to forward shield.
Again, kind of wasted. It's kind of like Pharah boosters, where if you're like in the middle of recharging it, you don't necessarily want to cancel. Same with Pharah's shield, you even when you're around you. Okay, it's good. This is good. Obviously, I'm not saying you have to, like, if it's recharging, you're not allowed to stop it, but it better be for good reason. That's another thing where we need to make sure we know who this Junkrat is. I said this to you in the script, so hopefully learn from it, but kind of try to make our own play, which is fine, but we need to make sure that the enemy team can't carry it forward.
Join me if you will.
Like, right now, that'd be a great time to DM your run. It's like charging and swinging. Now I want to again, wasted DM because we're overstaying our welcome. Instead of sitting here and DMing, why don't we just walk out? And then we can DM our team. I like how you went and chucked for this Junkrat. I don't know if it was calm or not, I forget. But either way.
I'll show them.
Maybe back here. And we're also doing like this, is also using a smart giving us this is unfortunate. And trap. Look right there. Use your DM to get the ride in. There, you don't need it because he's just your Ryan's gonna stand still. Like you're not gonna get any space out of it. You're maybe eating a fire strike, I think maybe. But again, you just flash your fire strikes. Yeah, we weren't even doing it for the fire strike. Just have to catch it. This is good. I like this. I'll probably boost turning into the right. This is good fight.
Nothing's gonna stop. My ultimate is ready.
Just a little tip for this map: if you are standing on top of the high ground here, you can actually push the card, so make it a little better.
Let them up.
And again, here we're not anticipating the Ryan. Sneaks a fire strike. I'm just pointing out. Obviously, not sending through the fighter. And also something I haven't really taken a look at. Everyone will be talking about is like the Kree flash. You haven't actively eaten a Kree flash. You might have by accident one time, and it's tough. Like it's so quick that you basically have to be anticipating it. But again, it's so close to it.
Get this doggy moving.
Show you.
60 seconds remaining.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Again, dimming just kind of wastes a game like that. That's fine right now because we know we're gonna have it by the time we fight. Right there, a little iffy. Again, that's fine because we're walking in, we're taking space. That, like again, little thing you understand.
Time to raise my ATM.
Giving this Junkrat's fine. Stuff is fine. I get there. Oops. Do I expect you to like flick 180, eat this McCree, flash, like do some crazy stuff? Or I guess the second. Do I like? That would be insane if I wanted to do that. Now, if you were thinking about, okay, the Kree's gonna flash, I'm keeping a mind on him. Is that insanely tough to do? Yes, but it's doable.
30 seconds.
And I'll point it out, not saying again, it doesn't really matter in this case, but
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Hello. Show me.
nice bomb engage, that's nice. Yeah, reasonable fight, well placed bomb. If you want to get super micro with the bomb, when you do, I'm going for bomb engages, make sure you put it in a spot where the enemy Ryan can't walk in you, because that's kind of how you counter it. You just push in and they have a baby D.va. So if you were to place it like maybe like right here, you'll still be a little bit behind them, but their Ryan can't just like walk in because you died with the bomb. Or you place it like right here. If the Ryan was maybe smart, or not smart, but like they had some insane reaction time, they might have been able to punish you.
My ultimate's almost ready.
Again, I still get high ground right now. I decided we're gonna be up there with you. Generally, when a Doom's engaging, try and stick your damage with him so he can't like combo or engage more like if he's punching engage, you wanna like get in front. Like right now, why are we not DMing Ryan? Like he is deep in there, and instead we're like sniping McCree because we're not ready for it. I'm pretty sure it cuts off like the fight, but okay.
10
I talked about
seconds
at the beginning,
remaining.
right? We have a Doomfist, right, or even Winston or some sort of like big diver. I need to be able to, when he's engaging, we're pushing in and I'm DMing. Kind of like sorry. That, like, what does that even do? Like you're DMing a DMing D.va. And here we have the DM for it. We should be DMing the Doomfist. Or at least DMing the Shadow. I guess you're tapping point, but whatever. Again, so just reiterating, making sure that our DM, we're thinking about how we should use it before the fight happens, so it makes the mid fight a lot easier. I realize how dark my room is. I apologize for that. And then yeah, it's kind of most of the thing. Making sure we're not feeding like going high ground too early, or making sure we need to go high ground when we like whatever they have a DPS. Um, but yeah, this is something that like it seems a little small in mid fight, but from the two people I've taught this to, they've both seen like massive SR increases. Now I'm not like guaranteeing SR, but like I did this like, basically this similar lesson with Seaman. He climbed like 300 SR in a week. Now I don't think he'll do that, but no, it is important. Yeah, when Ryan pushes, right? So what that mean like why that matters because again we're gonna assume nobody's on the field. Uh, when Ryan's pushing in, right? Their team is gonna look at this Ryan, right? But if you're on high ground when they're looking at the Ryan, you kill them, obviously, if nobody's up there. That's like a bad team. Um, but if you push up here, they're all gonna look at you and kill you, and your Ryan's gonna be back here doing nothing. Like he can't follow up. Where if vice versa thing happens, your Ryan pushes in, is fighting them, and then you go high ground, and then for some reason they all start looking at you, your Ryan's gonna kill them. It forces a decision. Um, right? And how you counter this, right? If this team is like timing it well, you actually have to time it well yourself, right? Say you're the defending team, when their end pushes in, you only have a certain amount of people to go on them, and then their D.va times it and goes onto you. Um, Same with Winston, right? Winston's diving. Like I always taught Spuzz, for example, you don't have to be doing the same thing. You're just doing the same something at the same time. If my Winston's jumping on the enemy Ash, me as D.va, if I can't get to the Ash, I don't need a feed to go get her. Maybe I go and pressure the enemy like like McCree that's on an angle or whatever, because their team they can't like peel for 4 people at the same time. Where if you just peel like if you just go hard on one person, then like they can do that. Like they can just immore him or whatever. If you just walk down main and just focus this round, they're gonna immore him, DM him, amp heal, whatever. You're not gonna be able to burst him down too quickly if they do it well. I mean, I guess I'll end the stream. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.